Hello, how's it going today? It's Frankie here, and I'm back with yet another movie review. And I got to say, this movie I've seen, it was actually really good. The action in it was good, but could have done with a tiny bit more dialogue and a bit more of an understanding of the story. The movie is called Close Range, and it's about this guy that has to protect his sister and niece from a cartel and a corrupt sheriff, and they hold his sister and niece hostage. Now, this all started off when he actually infiltrates the cartel mansion just to rescue his niece, and he then steals a hard drive, which we don't know much about. I mean, I'll get onto that later on. But yeah, he's rescues her. The fight scenes in this movie is probably one of the best I've ever seen. This gives John Wick a little bit of a run for its money. Sorry, John Wick, but it's so one of those action movies where the fighting's really quick and intense and pacey. At the start, I was like, this is getting good. It's an hour and 20 minutes, so kind of wish it was a bit more longer. So then he rescues her, takes her home, to her auntie and to his sister. Obviously, you know how it is. And then the cartel come in because they find that he stole a drive. The sheriff is in on this, by the way. The sheriff knows these cartel members, and yet they actually just hold hostage because of like a hard drive. And basically the setting is just in this place right here. This movie could have done a bit more locations to it, though, and it could have been a bit longer. You know what? It's still good overall. A lot of fight scenes, the house scenes. There's a lot of intense action between like Colt and these cartel members. And I forgot what let's say his sister and his niece, and there was like a lot of guns. The typical action movie type style, and there wasn't really much to get into. Regardless, like there wasn't much of a good settled storyline. Now John Wick, there was good dialogue. There's a lot of dialogue, a lot of action. Had everything. Silent Night had everything. I had so much action in that movie. This movie here was just full of like action parts in the house scene, which I think it makes the movie more watchable. I was kind of hooked on the story a little bit, well, part of the action within itself. I know I'm ranting here, but I'm trying to make this the best I can. And there wasn't really anything else apart from that. I mean, he rescued him or whatnot. He helped him out, and at the end it shows him just escaping and driving off. He did go face to face with the sheriff at the end. I mean, he wanted to give him a choice. Obviously, he chose to shoot the sheriff and stuff like that. But we still never get to know what was on the hard drive. And that for me was quite disappointing. That's for me because I was trying so hard to find out what rating to give this. Because at first I was like, it could be a 10, but because of the lack of like dialogue and storyline in this movie, it's making me really think it's not the best action movie I've ever seen. The fight scenes is what makes it highly rated, and I've seen fight scenes. I don't think I've ever seen fight scenes that quick in movies. This back in the John Wick movies, it was just standard, typical fight. The fight in this movie is very quick. It's pacey. God knows how many times it must have been for these actors to do double takes on these scenes to get everything correct. They're so quick and pacey. But then, like, we never find out what's on the hard drives. We get told it was all like the cartel evidence on it, but it would have been so much more better if the end part of the movie we actually see what was on the hard drive. And that for me kind of disappointed me. I was kind of thinking, okay, the hard drive, what was on? Let's see. Every movie you would see what's on the hard drive. But again, it was disappointing for such a really good movie, which I enjoyed. It didn't really have much of a storyline and dialogue. The fighting part, they made it watchable. For me, I love movies that's action packed like this, but it needs a storyline dialogue. Make it make sense. And he had the hard drives on him. Eventually, obviously, he kept them because he's the protagonist. But yeah, he managed to keep the hard drives. They escaped, and then the niece, the niece, the one that called the police, and they came when all the fight was over. And yeah, so never really know much about that afterwards. That's when the movie ends. Unless it's after the credits, it reveals something I don't know. That's the one thing I don't get is, in the one thing I don't get is all when they all have weapons, or when these protagonists and antagonists have the weapons, they always end up missing shots and bullets. There's no way it could be like the Matrix, they're dodging that quickly. In real life, you would not miss a single bullet unless it was like a pistol, certain type of weapon. You know, unless you have to get really lucky to miss so many bullets. Literally, there was so many bullets flying around. You would think someone was bound to get shot by one of them. That's not. That some of these movies, you know, the logic is not doesn't make much sense in that, you know, part. But yeah, I mean, the rating for this movie, I was gonna give it a 10, but I did not realize it was gonna be the storyline wasn't gonna be that great. To be fair, I was thinking of a 9. That was the only thing that was missing, was, you know, the USB part. You know, the storyline part of it needed to make a bit more sense. So it just felt like, cause the action part was good, but they did it in a bit of a messy fashion. I might just give this. It's a tough one. It's a good movie. It's definitely above a 7. I'm just gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. I feel like it's just missing a bit to it to make it a really good action movie. You know, the hard drives may have been nothing, but to take the hard drive, but yet not realize what was on it, it doesn't make much sense to me. So they didn't reveal that part of the story. So please tell me in the comments what was on the hard drive and what you think the theory was to it. I mean, much of a theory there is there, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of it. Anyway, so 9 out of 10 is the rating. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like, comment below, share if you only know, subscribe and hit the bell notification below, as I see you in my next video.